Most developers don't start working with Supabase locally. They go straight to the dashboards, build tables by clicking, and now their schema has no version control and no safe way to reach production. If you are a solo dev or a team building something scalable, this workflow will break. So now I'm going to show you how to set up Supabase correctly. We will understand the CLI, how to set the local environment, to understand also the migrations, and how to enhance our workflow with AI by adding skills and MCP. So two things need to be installed. First of all, Docker Desktop, then Supabase CLI. So the links will be in the description. Now let's jump and create a Next.js project with ShadCN, and we will add Supabase to it. Now let's copy this command. Let's jump to the terminal and paste. Let's work on a task management app for organization, something like Trelly. Let's have a name, Trelly, for example. Now the project is initialized. So let's go to Trelly, and we have a simple Next.js app. I've opened our project in Cursor. Now let's start with the first command, which is supabase init. This command will create a Supabase folder with the config.toml file. Config.toml is controls all your local environment settings, like auth providers, emails, pores, and everything else. Now jumping to the second command, which is supabase start. Supabase start spin up the full Supabase stack locally using Docker. It will download the Postgres service, the Auth server, and other server that needed in order for Supabase to work smoothly. So let's run this command. As you can see, it starts downloading images. Nice. Here is our project URL, APIs. Also with the studio, we have the database URL, publishable key, and secrets key. So we have everything. Now let's have a look at the studio. So this is the studio running locally, and it has the same UI as the Cloud dashboard with the production Supabase instance. But first, let's have a look at the Supabase dashboard. Here we have the table editor, where you can create tables, edit them, edit column, add rows, etc. We have the SQL editor, where you can run SQL code here, and then you can generate migration after that. You have some database management here, like tables, functions, triggers, types, extension, etc. Also, you can look at our migration here. After that, you have the auth. Here you can see all users. We have the storage. This is S3 compatible storage service. We have edge functions. We have real-time also feature. And that's it. So these are the main things you need to understand in order to work with Supabase. Now let's get back and make some other changes. So for example, for the title, let's remove the allow nullable and let's make sure each task has a title. Okay, so we made this change. Now we need to save this migration. Because if we make a DB reset, for example, Supabase DB reset, it will ignore or remove the changes made before. So for each change, we need to create a migration file. So DB reset, it will reset all the database and start applying migration files one by one. So first of all, let's create this migration. Okay, let's Supabase DB diff .f. Let's say update title and local. Okay, so it will generate a migration file for the title column. After that, we can reset our database and still have the same changes. Now it's done. We can see here update titles. It already applied the migration. Now if we can do a DB reset, and it will reset the database from scratch and all the changes will remain as they are. We will check it now. Done. So if we can refresh, let's go to tasks. Let's see. Yes, it's already there. The main thing why we should work locally first is, for example, let's say we made a lot of changes in the tasks table, and we will have a lot of migration files. And when the project is going to be big and it will scale a lot with different tables, and we will change a lot. So we will have a bunch of migration files. And thus, believe me, it's something really frustrating and not, you don't want to deal with it. So the best method here is once you create a lot of files, migration files, you can remove them, delete them, and just start a new migration from scratch. So diff .f, let's say tasks table, and minus local, okay? So this way, it will combine both migration into one single file. This is much cleaner in the future, and it's much readable. As you can see, it will generate one migration file that has all the thing needed. As you can see, for the title, it said it's not null. So it's much cleaner, and this way you will have fewer migration files, and in the future, you will thank me. Okay, now let's have a look at the other Supabase command. For example, you can do Supabase stats, where you can see all the API and URL of your local Supabase instance. You can do Supabase stop to just stop the container. As you can see, it's already stopped. And you can do Supabase start again to, for example, apply some changes after you change you made some changes in the config tone. You should do Supabase stop and then Supabase start to apply these changes. It will get or start the database from already a backup, and it's started, as you can see here. It's working. Also, now let's jump and create a project in Supabase. So I've already created a project, so it's empty. Now what we should do is, first of all, is to link this project, okay? So Supabase link, but I think for the first timer, you should do Supabase login. So let's enter. So it's created, the token is created successfully. Let's now do Supabase link is to link our current project with the one in remote. Let's search for the project. Yeah, this one. Okay. So the project is linked successfully. Now what we should do is to Supabase push. This is how we push the changes or the migrations made from local to production. Sorry, it's a DB push of the database. I say, do you want to push these migration to remote database? Yes. And the migration is applied successfully. Now let's back to production instance. Let's go to the table editor, and we can see our task table is created successfully. Now let's see how we can use AI to write SQL for us and enhance our workflow. So first of all, I'm going to share with you this command, which will add an MCP to read our Postgres table directly. So this will enable Claude to have access to our project, Supabase project directly, read data, write SQL directly, and do everything. So this will enhance our workflow and speed a lot the process. So let's run it. Now it's done. As you can see, there is a new file called .mcp.json, which contains the MCP configurations here. This is a scope only for this project, but you can remove this and it will be available across your different projects. So the next thing is to go to this skills directory and search for Supabase. Okay, so we will have here Supabase Postgres best practices, and let's add it to this project. So this will add or will give Claude Code a skill to how to write SQL code efficiently with Postgres. So let's add all of these. So it generates a new skill inside .claude folder, and this Claude code will use this to generate SQL queries. Okay, let's test this. Let's run Claude here. Sorry, let's open, for example, this file, open Claude. Okay. Okay, let's say we wanna add, or let's ask him, please check if I have any data with my tasks table. Well, let's see what Claude is doing. So he's trying to proceed with the local Supabase MCP. So I will allow it for this project. So your task table exists, but it's empty. Okay, let's add a new row, column called description. Okay, let's see how Claude is going to react. Let me first check. Is reading all of our migration. We will create a new migration file and then add SQL code in it. Let's see here, migration. It's empty. Now he's adding writing in it. Yes, let's allow it. So he's verifying the column was added or not. So it's done. The description is added. Let's recheck our table. We have a description column here, and it's very good.